We were first introduced to Chinquapin by Jeff and Terry Lee, who invited us to one of the Chinquapin dinners probably about 10 years ago.
At the first gala, we really didn't know very much about Chinquapin, but we knew it had to be someplace special. The student that sat at the table with us was clearly someone who had their act together. I think we knew pretty quickly that Chinquapin was a place where we could make an investment and see a return and making a difference. When you meet a Chinquapin student, you immediately say, oh, well, this is a really neat freshman or sophomore or junior. But you think about them in college already, not as high school kids. And the Chinquapin environment, the tight teacher-student bond, the staff-student bond is something that gives these kids so much confidence, that helps them understand what it takes to succeed, and they like being there.
It takes a village to raise a child. I mean, Chinquapin can provide certain things, and I think one of the strengths of Chinquapin is, in fact, that we have this family-like atmosphere.
And when I got here, it was like mind-boggling to see how much love one person can just like explode to other people. And you literally get that from every teacher here.
The teachers were also encouraging me to not only do the best that I could in my studies, but also be the best person in my community.
I mean, every teacher I've had has been someone, great character, you know, great intellect and stuff like that, and someone you want to aspire to be or someone you want to meet, you know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a dream come true.
The biggest thing about Quid Pro Quo is our chore system. We have one maintenance person on staff for the entire 20-acre facility. And every day after school, the kids do chores. And they all work hard. You know, you don't see anybody lounging around. No one has to tell a kid twice to do a chore.
I think it will help me a lot because it kind of gives you a sense of what it means to own something. And because I feel that like this school kind of belongs to me in a way.
I think actually the Quid Pro Quo has been the thing that's affected my life the most, because I come from a family where it's you on your own.
Yeah, I do believe that this responsibility will eventually transform into something else and will help me in my education or in my profession.
So the Quid Pro Quo also includes giving back even after they leave. So I think that as an outsider, what you see is kids that care, they invest in the underclassmen, they care about the school after they leave, and that makes it all worthwhile as an outside donor, as an outside participant, because these guys are going to go out, do good things, and give back to the school.
Just in kind of what I've done in my short career so far, and the things that I've been able to work towards and achieve, it's been that understanding. I think that's been the foundation that I bought into it, I believe it, and I live by it. And I think that sense of quid pro quo, of community, has been the most important thing for me.
For a while, we wrote checks to Chinquapin, and that was our involvement, and we weren't really sure how to get more involved. And then, again, Terry Lee asked me if I would be interested in joining the board. And so I went out to the school for another visit to the campus, and I knew that was it. I wanted to join the board. Some of the most important things that we accomplished were just some general improvements to the dorms. They needed some renovations.
Now we have new bathrooms and blue paint all over the place and carpets and things like that.
They've done other stuff, like helping out, coming to work days, cleaning the school. And on top of that, they're also kind of like mentors to the students.
At the next board meeting, one of the students came up and gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek and said, "Thank you so much for the work you did in the boys' dorms." So, I mean, that just meant the world to me.
When TPH came out to do the volunteer day at Chinquapin, it really helped turn the school from a concept to a reality for so many of our employees. And we've had people that have donated in the past, but when you donate your time and you see what it's going toward, it makes such a difference.
The best part of the volunteer day last spring was just how much work we got done. We had almost 100 volunteers show up, and I had a long list of things, and I thought, oh, we might be here till dark tonight. And we were done by 3 o'clock because everybody chipped in, and we got so much accomplished. We recently started a SAT prep program that has been really great for helping them get into better schools. And then our mentor program, which has always been a strong part of the school, exposed the kids to more career choices and options for their future.
I just met Jen's husband, Dan, and he's been trying to help me make a resume and try to apply for an internship at his company.
And the added bonus to the mentor program is we get more people, professionals exposed to Chinquapin, and they get to meet our kids, and then they get more involved because they see how amazing the kids are.
Nial's a special kid. He came to the U.S. when he was 10 from Sudan, one of the Lost Boys, and he came to Chinquapin, and Chinquapin found a way for him to learn English, to study, and eventually get a track scholarship to go to college in Kansas.
And he was living on campus, which was very unusual, but he needed a place to stay for the summer. And so I went to Betsy, who was the development director at that point, and said, I just met this amazing young man. He needs a place to stay in Houston for the summer, and I kind of need to talk to my husband first, but I think that he should come stay with us.
Obviously, Jen and Dan have taken that, a few steps further than anybody would expect a rational board member to do. But it'd be great to have a few more Jen and Dans in the world that, basically have taken some of these students on as their own children, and with all that entails.
She cares, with all of her heart. I feel like I belong, I am her child. She gets on me I belong. I'm fussed at, I'm rewarded, I'm loved. She is beyond words awesome.
Does Chinquapin offer a strong return on investment? The simple answer is yes. When you think about how much they do for such a small amount of money per student, it's pretty amazing.
When I was first introduced to Chinquapin, I was working as a public defender in juvenile court. And so I was working with a lot of teenagers who were in trouble, who came from troubled family backgrounds and weren't doing so well. And so it really struck me when I went to Chinquapin and saw all these kids who were from similar family backgrounds but were successful and doing well and thriving.
There are a lot of people in the world who are going to be willing to help. And Jen Pickering has been one of those people who I've seen, and I know that she is making a difference. A wonderful human being like that, they don't settle for just doing a couple things. They give their all. And I have seen her give her all to the school.
I started going to board meetings, and I've been to the gala several times, and I get to see them sign the wish list and putting their name next to whatever they want to donate to. And that's when I realized, oh man, these guys are really important to the school.
Her and Dan get in there and get it done.
So I think the one event for me that really brings it all home is when the seniors come in, they bring a candle, and they hand that candle off to an underclassman that they want to wish the best for. And that's where you know that this cycle is going to continue, that sustainability is there. And so that's the one thing for me where you say, this is it, this is why it works.